Our guys are certainly in a position now to do something great here at Tiger Stadium that is, beat the number 3 team in the country. So, our focus is squarely on doing that for 4 quarters. Practiced yesterday, loved our energy and enthusiasm, and now you got to go do it. But I'm really pleased with the mindset of our team and the opportunity that lies in front of them.
Brian Kelly getting his team ready to take on Texas A&M this weekend in Tiger Stadium. Tigers are inside of a field goal underdog, so stinky line when you look at it. The way LSU's played offensively, Texas A&M 7-0, undefeated, number 3 in the country. You would figure they'd be a more sizable favorite in this game, but sometimes the folks in the desert, they know something. What we know now is that the Ashton Stamps won't play for LSU this weekend against Texas A&M, and he actually won't play for LSU at all anymore. Brian Kelly was asked about the junior cornerback on his SEC coaches teleconference on Wednesday morning.
Report out there this morning that Ashton Stamps, he left the team, I believe. Is that something that you can confirm?
Yeah, he is no longer on the roster.
Nothing more there from Kelly other than confirming that Stamps is, in fact, no longer with LSU. And, in his 3 years with the Tigers, really, you look at this year, he's played in 3 games for LSU. So he'd only have 1 more that he could play in to maintain his year of eligibility should he transfer and want to use that. But prior to this season, Ashton Stamps had played in 24 games with 17 starts. He was your most experienced returning cornerback this year. And what's so interesting about Stamps also is not just that he had played in 27 games. Remember, 23, the Jaden Heisman year, the worst defense statistically in the history of the program. Stamps started 4 times as a true freshman that year. They were just trying things to find anything that might work. And then last year, he played and started all 13 games and led the SEC. He led the SEC. He led the SEC with 14 PBUs. Remember, you had Zy Alexander, and teams looked and were like, well, Zy's good, let's throw at the other guy. So they consistently threw at Stamps, and he came away with 14 PBUs. No interceptions, but he led the league in pass breakups. So a guy that had played in 24 games coming into this year, it was pretty logical, and started all 13 last season. It was logical to assume that Stamps was going to be a starter on this team. And you brought in DJ Pickett, 5-star number 1 corner in the country, and you went and got Mansoor Delane out of the transfer portal. And so how that rotation was going to go was going to be interesting. We all assumed Stamps was going to be there and play a lot. Well, what happened throughout fall camp, which was very notable as you got closer to the season, was PJ Woodland came on. And I think Woodland's emergence is really the differentiator that pushed Stamps to the sideline here. And it's interesting because after the Clemson game, and Stamps didn't play against Clemson. And at the time, it's easy to think now with the benefit of 7-game hindsight and the fact that he hasn't played, now he's leaving the program. But remember, he started every game a year ago, was rotating with the ones in fall camp, and then you get to the game against Clemson on the road, veteran team, all that stuff. A couple of preseason first-team All-ACC receivers, all the stuff at Clemson. And your most veteran cornerback doesn't see the field, and it makes you go, wait a minute, what's going on? And I remember I asked Brian Kelly about that on the Monday after Clemson. This is what he said.
We're going to play the guys that, obviously give us the best chance to win. And he's a really good player. There's no doubt. But, when you talk about the rotation right now, the rotation was what we played on Saturday. But Ashton's got to stay ready. He knows that. This is a long season. We have great confidence in him and his ability to go out there and play at a high level for us.
True. I mean, that told you right there from jump. That told you right there that this wasn't some discipline or anything that went wrong. He got beat. He got beat out. Mansoor Delane has been arguably the best cornerback in America. He's on the short list. I can't tell you I've seen every snap of every corner that's played in college football, obviously, but I mean, you're seeing mock drafts that have him Delane as a top 15 pick in the draft, and he might be. On the broadcast this last weekend, Jesse Palmer was saying that he believed Delane is the best cornerback he's seen in college football this year. So that's an obvious one. And then DJ Pickett is a 5-star who continues to emerge, and every opportunity he gets, he flashes. Just an incredible ceiling. And then PJ Woodland is the other guy that's come along. And so when you look at that rotation, so far this season for LSU, Mansoor Delane has played 397 snaps. PJ Woodland has played 313 snaps. And DJ Pickett's played 213. After that, Jakeem Jackson, 25. Michael Turner, 24. Stamps played 18 snaps. Wallace Foster's got 1 snap. Aiden Anding, 1 snap. You see the point? It's all to say, like, they identified their rotation, who their 3 best guys are. And Stamps' only path to the field this year was going to be injury, which nobody wants to see, obviously. But that was going to be his path. And so Stamps has made the decision now to leave. And so there's a couple of things here. Number one, the Pickett and Delane things are pretty obvious. I mean, Pickett's a 5-star, number 1 corner. He's a freak. He's a pterodactyl. He's 6'5", who runs like a deer. I mean, God just didn't make many dudes like that. And Delane is maybe the best corner in the country. Woodland taking reps from Stamps is the one that you look and go, wow. And that's where you look at Corey Raymond and you tip your cap. Because if you remember, PJ Woodland was a guy that, when he was recruited, was a 3-star and wasn't necessarily the guy at the top of people's boards. When he was coming out of Mississippi, when he signed with LSU out of Oak Grove and Hattiesburg, PJ Woodland, I'm looking at his recruiting profile right now, was a 3-star, ranked number 506 in the country. I'll pull it up for you, Paul, if you want to, just so you know I ain't lying. There's his recruiting profile. 3-star, number 506 in the country, the number 53 cornerback, the 17th best player in the state of Mississippi. And Corey Raymond did what Corey Raymond does. He looked at a dude, liked the skill set, liked the mentality, and said, I can do something with that. And here you are now with PJ Woodland as a second-year player who's forced an older guy, Ashton Stamps, out of the rotation and now out of the program. Anybody who has any lingering questions still about Corey Raymond, I don't know if y'all still do, but y'all know who you are. I mean, I can go get receipts on Twitter. I don't think I need to, but a lot of y'all, the Corey Raymond doesn't recruit, Corey Raymond doesn't develop, those people from a few years back, I don't hear none from y'all anymore. They keep churning out 5-stars and all, whatever. I don't need to belabor the point. You get it. But Woodland is great validation that Corey Raymond knows what he's looking for and knows how to develop cornerbacks, and you're going to be really good at that spot like you were for a long time under Corey Raymond. That's one. The other piece of this is, what does your cornerback room look like in 2026? Because now Stamps is gone and Mansoor Delane's going pro. So you'll have Pickett and Woodland. Like, you'll have those 2 guys next year. After that is where you have the big question. And that's where 2 things come into play. Number one, it's what we just talked about with Corey Raymond's ability to develop, because you got young guys. Look, Jakeem Jackson transferred in, and assuming he stays, he could develop. He could be that number 3. We'll see. Jakeem Jackson was a highly regarded guy that signed with Raymond at Florida, was a starter at Florida a year ago, got injured at the beginning of the season and missed the remainder of the season and transferred to LSU, but is just caught in that logjam right now. But Jakeem Jackson's a possibility, but then you've got young guys like Michael Turner and Wallace Foster and Aiden Anding, and then you'll have the 2026 guys coming in as well. So is there another young guy that could emerge and be part of that conversation potentially in 2026? Or, obviously, the other part of that is, do you go back into the transfer portal and look at trying to find another Mansoor Delane? Now, I don't know if you're finding another Delane, per se, the number 1 corner in the portal, but maybe. And remember, you've also got Haven Finney committed for the class of 2026. He was the number 1 corner for 2027 who reclassed, so he'll be entering LSU a year early out of LA, and he's a long, rangy dude, 6'2", 170. He fits the mold of what Corey likes. But all that to say, Ashton Stamps leaving as a guy who had started 17 games, played in 24 games, and led the SEC in pass breakups a year ago, and then is out, is a great illustration of how much you've increased your talent and development at that position. And you should be really optimistic about the defensive backfield moving forward, because of this. Would you love Ashton Stamps to stay? Of course. Louisiana guy, has been in your program for 3 years, has been a starter, a lot of experience, has been on the road in the league, all that stuff. But the fact that he is leaving, the fact that he got pushed down the depth chart illustrates how much you've improved your talent at that position. So wish Ashton Stamps all the best in whatever is next for him in his football career. But also, rest assured, LSU's secondary, in particular at corner, is in really good shape moving forward with Pickett, Woodland, Haven Finney coming behind him, some of the young guys on the roster right now. We'll continue to watch how it all develops. But I wish Ashton Stamps luck as he's done as an LSU Tiger. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.